I come to you now in the quiet of this evening, just as I am, with the day finally loosening its grip on me. The light has dimmed, the sounds around me have softened, and I allow myself to pause. I notice how my body feels as it rests here, supported, held, no longer needing to move or strive. I become aware of my breath without trying to change it at first, simply noticing the gentle rhythm of air entering and leaving me. Each breath feels like a small permission to slow down. With every exhale, I sense the weight of the day beginning to ease, as though it is quietly slipping off my shoulders. I let my breathing grow a little deeper now, not forced, just fuller. Cool air brushes the inside of my lungs as I inhale, and warmth follows as I breathe out. I imagine the breath moving like a soft tide, coming in and going out, steady and calm. My chest rises and falls, unhurried. My jaw loosens. My tongue rests gently in my mouth. My shoulders soften, as if they are remembering they no longer need to be held up. I feel the surface beneath me supporting every part of my body, asking nothing from me in return. God, I am grateful that I don't have to rush through this moment. I don't have to perform or impress or solve anything right now. I am simply here with you. As I breathe, I sense your nearness, not loud or demanding, but quiet and patient, like a presence that has been waiting for me to finally sit down and rest. The stillness around me feels sacred, as though the night itself is gently inviting me to slow my thoughts and soften my heart. I bring my attention slowly through my body, noticing where there is tightness or lingering tension. If I find places that feel clenched or tired, I don't judge them. I just acknowledge them with kindness. I imagine my breath flowing into those spaces, bringing warmth and ease. My forehead smooths. My eyes feel heavy behind closed lids. My neck releases its subtle holding. With each slow breath, my body remembers how to rest. As my body settles, I notice that my mind is still active. Thoughts drift in, some familiar, some restless. I don't try to push them away. I simply notice them, like clouds passing quietly across a darkening sky. Some thoughts replay moments from today. Others wander into tomorrow, imagining conversations, responsibilities, or things left undone. I let myself see these thoughts without engaging them, without following them to their conclusions. I remind myself that noticing is enough. God, you see every thought moving through me right now. You know the ones that carry worry, the ones that carry regret, and the ones that feel unfinished. I don't need to hide them from you. I don't need to organize them or make sense of them before bringing them into your presence. I simply allow them to exist, trusting that you are gentle with every part of me, even the restless parts. As I continue to breathe slowly, I imagine each thought arriving and then floating past, like leaves carried along a quiet stream. I don't need to grab them. I don't need to analyze why they appeared. I let them move at their own pace. When my mind feels busy, I return my attention to the steady rise and fall of my breath, anchoring myself in this moment, in this calm place with you. I notice how my thoughts begin to feel a little less sharp, a little less urgent. They are still there, but they don't demand my attention in the same way. There is space between them now. In that space, I feel a gentle calm beginning to form. It's subtle, like the first hint of quiet after a long day of noise. I don't rush it. I let it grow naturally. God, thank you for meeting me here in this simple awareness. Thank you for allowing me to slow down without guilt. As the night deepens, I allow my breathing to guide me further into rest, trusting that you are watching over me, steady and unchanging, as my body and mind continue to soften in your presence. I remain here with you, God, as the quiet deepens around me. My breathing is slow now, steady and gentle. like a soft rhythm that carries me further away from the noise of the day. In this calm, I begin to notice the worries that still linger beneath the surface. They aren't loud, but they are present. Small knots of concern, unfinished questions, things I've been holding on to without even realizing it. I don't resist them. I simply allow them to come into the light of your presence. I see how easily my mind tries to solve everything, even now. It wants to plan, to prepare, to anticipate what might go wrong. I acknowledge this tendency with compassion. This part of me has tried to protect me, to keep me safe. But tonight, I gently tell my thoughts that they can rest. They don't need to stand watch anymore. I am not alone in this moment. I am held. God, I bring you the worries that feel heavy in my chest, the ones I've named and the ones I can't quite put into words. I bring you concerns about people I love, about things I cannot control, about outcomes I wish I could guarantee. As I imagine placing these worries into your hands, I notice how my body responds. My breathing deepens, my shoulders sink further into rest. It feels like setting down a burden I didn't realize I was still carrying. With each slow exhale, I picture mental tension loosening its grip. Thoughts that once felt tight begin to soften around the edges. I imagine them gently unraveling, strand by strand. There is no rush. There is no pressure to empty my mind completely. I simply allow what no longer serves me to drift away, trusting that what truly matters will be cared for by you. I remind myself that this night is not meant for striving. It is meant for restoration. The dark sky outside feels like a wide, quiet shelter, wrapping the world in stillness. I let that stillness settle inside me. I allow my jaw to unclench, my brow to smooth, my hands to rest loosely wherever they have fallen. My body understands this language of release, even if my mind sometimes forgets. God, I feel your peace beginning to touch my thoughts, not forcefully but tenderly. It moves like warmth spreading slowly through my mind, calming the places that felt restless. I sense that I don't need to chase peace. It comes to me as I let go. I trust that you are near, gently quieting the inner noise, guiding my thoughts toward stillness. As worries fade into the background, I notice moments of silence between my thoughts growing longer. Those pauses feel safe. They feel kind. I rest in them without fear, knowing that I don't need to fill them with anything. In these quiet spaces, I sense your presence more clearly, not as words or instructions, but as a calm assurance that I am watched over. I think about the things I tried to control today, the moments I replayed, wishing I had done something differently. I release those too. I allow myself to be human, imperfect, learning. I trust that you work gently within my limitations, weaving even my missteps into something meaningful. Tonight, I give myself permission to stop revisiting what cannot be changed. My thoughts slow further now, like a river easing into calm water after a long journey. There is less movement, less urgency. I don't need to follow every idea that arises. I let them pass, returning again and again to the soft rhythm of my breath. Inhale, exhale. Each breath feels like a quiet agreement to rest. God, thank you for being patient with my wandering mind. Thank you for meeting me again and again. When I return my attention to you as the night continues, I feel your peace settling deeper, calming not just my thoughts, but my emotions as well. I am safe here. I am allowed to rest, and I remain with you, breathing gently as my mind grows quieter and my heart grows lighter. I stay here in this gentle quiet, God, noticing how my mind no longer feels as crowded as it once did. The thoughts that remain move more slowly now, as if they too are growing tired and ready to rest. I don't try to manage them or guide them anywhere. I simply allow them to soften and lose their urgency. There is a growing sense that nothing needs my immediate attention. and that realization brings a deep relief. I become aware of how often I try to hold everything together by thinking harder, planning more, controlling outcomes in my mind. Tonight, I let that habit loosen. I don't need to carry the weight of understanding everything. I don't need to predict what tomorrow will bring. I gently release the belief that my constant thinking keeps me safe. I breathe out that need for control, slowly and completely, trusting that I am held even when I am not managing anything at all. God, I place my trust in you in a quiet, simple way. Not through effort or words, but through letting go. I imagine my thoughts settling like snowflakes, drifting to the ground, one by one, until the landscape of my mind looks smooth and untouched. There is beauty in this simplicity. There is peace in not knowing, in allowing mystery to exist without fear. As I rest, I feel a sense of surrender spreading through me, gentle and warm. It doesn't feel like giving up. It feels like being carried. My body responds by sinking deeper into comfort. My breathing grows even slower, more shallow now, as if my body already recognizes the nearness of sleep. Each breath feels quieter than the last, barely a movement, just enough to remind me that I am alive and cared for. I notice how silence feels different now. It no longer feels empty or unsettling. It feels full of safety, full of presence. In this stillness, I don't feel alone. I sense you near me, God, like a steady calm that doesn't need to announce itself. It simply is. And in that presence, my mind finds permission to rest completely. Thoughts still appear from time to time, but they don't pull me with them. They rise softly and fade just as gently, like distant echoes that never reach me. I don't follow them. I remain here, grounded in this calm awareness, breathing slowly, resting deeply. There is nothing I need to fix or improve in this moment. God, I trust that while I sleep, you remain awake. While my mind rests, you continue to watch over every detail of my life. I don't need to carry tomorrow into this night. Tomorrow will come in its own time, and I will meet it when I wake. For now, I allow this moment to be complete, whole, enough. I feel my thoughts becoming fewer now, stretched farther apart by long, peaceful pauses. My awareness begins to feel softer around the edges, as if I am drifting slightly, no longer anchored to sharp ideas or clear images. There is a gentle heaviness in my body, a pleasant weight that pulls me closer to rest. My limbs feel warm and still. My face feels relaxed, almost expressionless, free from tension. In this quiet, God, I feel a deep sense of safety. Not because everything is resolved, but because I am not alone. I trust you with what I cannot hold. I trust you with what I cannot see. And as that trust settles in, my mind grows quiet in a way that feels natural and kind. I remain here, breathing softly, resting fully, allowing this calm to deepen. There is nothing I need to say now, nothing I need to think. I simply stay, wrapped in stillness, gently drifting as rest continues to draw me closer and closer to sleep. I drift a little deeper now, God, into this sense of calm that feels wide and unhurried. The world around me seems farther away, its edges soft and indistinct. Sounds, if there are any, fade into the background, losing their meaning. My attention no longer reaches outward. It gently turns inward, toward this quiet space where I feel safe and unguarded. My breathing is slow and shallow, almost effortless, as if my body is breathing on its own without asking anything from me. In this stillness, I notice a feeling of being protected, not in a dramatic way, but in a steady, comforting way, like being wrapped in something warm on a cool night. I imagine your peace surrounding me, God, not just around my body, but around my thoughts as well. It feels like a soft boundary, keeping out anything that might disturb this rest. Inside that boundary, my mind remains calm, undisturbed, at ease. I sense how deeply my body has relaxed now. There is no tension left to search for. Even the small muscles I didn't realize I was holding have let go. My hands are heavy and still. My legs feel warm and relaxed, as if they are gently sinking into the surface beneath me. My chest rises and falls so quietly that I barely notice it. Everything in me seems to agree that it is time to rest. God, I allow myself to trust this feeling completely. I don't question it or try to hold on to it. I simply let it carry me. I release the last traces of alertness, the last need to be aware of everything around me. I give myself permission to feel drowsy, unfocused, and slow. There is no danger in letting go this way. There is only peace. My thoughts have almost entirely faded now. When one does appear, it feels distant and faint, like a whisper I don't need to listen to. I don't respond to it. I don't follow it. I let it dissolve back into the quiet from which it came. The spaces between thoughts stretch longer and longer, until those spaces feel like my natural resting place. I feel a gentle sense of gratitude rising in me, not sharp or emotional, but calm and deep. Gratitude for this moment of rest. Gratitude for being allowed to stop. Gratitude for your presence that does not demand words or explanations. In this quiet, gratitude feels less like something I think and more like something I feel, settled gently in my chest. God, I sense that I am not watching over myself anymore. I have handed that role to you. While my awareness softens and my mind drifts, I trust that you remain steady and attentive. That knowledge allows me to sink even deeper into rest. I no longer feel the need to stay awake or alert. Sleep feels close now, like a gentle wave slowly rolling toward shore. My body responds by growing heavier, more still. My eyelids feel completely relaxed, as if they are resting from the inside out. My breathing is quiet and slow, matching the peaceful rhythm of the night. Each breath feels like it could be the one that carries me fully into sleep, and I welcome that feeling without anticipation. In this calm, I don't try to hold on to consciousness. I let it blur and soften, trusting that rest is exactly where I need to be. My mind drifts freely now, untethered from plans or worries. There is only this gentle surrender, this quiet trust, this sense of being cared for. I remain here with you, God, in this almost sleep, where thoughts are few and feelings are soft. I let myself float in this peaceful space, allowing rest to deepen naturally, without effort, without resistance, as I move closer and closer to sleep. I allow myself to sink the rest of the way now, God, without trying to stay aware of where I am in the night. Time feels loose and unimportant. The boundaries between waking and sleeping grow thin, and I feel myself drifting through them gently, like passing through a soft veil. My breathing is so quiet it almost disappears, steady and natural, carrying me downward into rest. There's a deep sense of safety here. Not something I have to convince myself of, but something I feel in my body, in the stillness of my mind. It feels like being watched over without being observed, protected without being interrupted. I no longer feel the need to check my thoughts or my surroundings. Everything feels settled, complete, and calm. God, I rest in the knowledge that nothing is required of me now. I don't need to think clearly. I don't need to remember anything. I don't need to hold on to this moment. I trust that even as my awareness fades, you remain near. The night feels like a quiet promise, gently holding me until morning comes. My thoughts have slowed to the point where they no longer form full ideas. They are more like soft impressions, fading as soon as they arise. Sometimes there is only a feeling, warmth, heaviness, ease, without any words attached to it. I welcome this wordless peace. It feels natural, like returning to something familiar and safe. I sense my body fully surrendered to rest now, Every part of me feels heavy in the best way, as if gravity itself has become kind. My limbs no longer signal movement. My face is completely relaxed. Even my breathing seems to happen somewhere far away, gentle and automatic. I don't follow it anymore. I simply exist within it. God, I place the final fragments of my awareness into your care. Any lingering worries, any unfinished thoughts, I release them without looking at them closely. They don't need my attention tonight. I trust that what matters will be there when I wake, and what doesn't will fall away on its own. The quiet feels deep and endless now. There is no edge to it, no sense of needing to move forward or backward. It feels like floating in calm water, supported on all sides. I don't try to hold myself up. I let myself be carried. This surrender feels gentle, not sudden, like easing into sleep one breath at a time. I no longer track my thoughts. I no longer notice their absence. There is only a soft drifting, a peaceful unknowing. My mind rests the way a tired child rests, without fear, without questions. I trust this rest completely. God, thank you for this stillness that requires nothing from me. Thank you for the quiet care that surrounds me as I sleep. Even as my awareness fades, I feel held, known, and safe. There is no separation here. Only rest, only peace. My breathing remains slow and calm, moving through me like a gentle rhythm of the night. Each breath feels like it carries me deeper, softer, farther away from effort. Sleep is no longer something I am approaching. It is already here, settling over me like a warm blanket. I let go of the last clear thought. I let go of the need to notice anything at all. I rest fully now, wrapped in peace, drifting quietly, safely, deeply, resting, breathing, letting go, drifting, resting, deeper, calmer, safe, held, quiet, sleep. I remain drifting without effort, without direction. There is no sense of needing to arrive anywhere. The quiet carries me on its own. My awareness is so soft now that it feels more like a gentle warmth than a thought. I don't try to hold on to it. I let it blur and dim, trusting the night to do what it does best. God, even as words fade, I feel your nearness like a calm presence beneath everything. Not something I focus on, but something that holds me without asking for attention. My mind rests in that safety, loose and unguarded. There is nothing left to release. Everything has already been set down. My breathing continues, slow and steady, but far away now. It feels like it belongs to the night itself rather than to me. My body rests deeply, completely still, comfortable in its heaviness. Thoughts no longer form. They dissolve before they begin. There is only this soft sinking, this quiet letting go, this deep, peaceful rest. I drift and rest and remain held, safe, quiet, as sleep settles fully and gently around me. In Jesus' name, amen.